Om Shanti. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of December 2023. On this Tuesday morning, let us listen to the Sakar Murli from our beloved Bap Dada. Bap Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, together with having knowledge and yoga, your behavior also has to be very good. Let there not be any evil spirits inside you, because you are exorcists who remove evil spirits. Essence once again on this Tuesday morning, Baba says, sweet children, together with having knowledge and yoga, your behavior also has to be very good. Let there not be any evil spirits inside you, because you are exorcists who remove evil spirits. Today's question is, which intoxication can the worthy and obedient children experience permanently? In answer, Baba says, we are claiming from Baba our inheritance of becoming double-crowned masters of the world. Only worthy and obedient children can experience this intoxication permanently. However, if there is an evil spirit of lust or anger inside you, there cannot be this intoxication. Such children cannot even have regard for the Father. This is why you first of all have to chase away the evil spirits and make your stage strong. Today's song is, Who has come to the door of my mind with the sound of ankle bells? Om Shanti. Baba says, no one except you children can understand the meaning of this. Meaning of what? The song which says, Who has come to the door of my mind with the sound of ankle bells? Baba says it is also number-wise according to the efforts you make, because there is neither a physical nor a subtle image of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The deities are subtle and there are just 3 of them, but even very much more subtle than them is God. So what is Baba saying today? The deities are subtle and there are just 3 of them. Who all? Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. But even much more subtle than them is God. Now, who says, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, souls? The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul is called God. A soul cannot call his physical father the Supreme Father. When you remember the Parlokik Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, that is called being soul conscious. Let's hear this again. Baba says, a soul cannot call his physical father the Supreme Father. When you remember the Parlokik Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, that is called being soul conscious. You remember your physical father with the relationship of the body. The other is the Baba with the relationship of the soul. He has now come here. The soul knows this with his intellect because each soul has an intellect. Therefore, Baba says the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul is surely the Parlokik Father. He is called God. Baba has now had this questionnaire made. It will be easy for you children to explain with it. Just as forms are filled in the same way you can get them to fill in this questionnaire. Definitely, the one who asks these questions would be knowledgeful and so would surely be a teacher. What is Baba saying? Just as forms are filled in the same way it will be easy for them to fill in this questionnaire, meaning those without the knowledge. Definitely the one who asks these questions would be knowledgeful and so would surely be a teacher. It is souls that take bodies and explain with their organs. Therefore, this questionnaire has been created so that it is easy for you children to explain. However, the stage of the children who relate knowledge also has to be very good. Baba says, although the knowledge some of you have may be very good and your yoga too is very good, together with that, very good behavior is also required. So what all is required? Baba says, although the knowledge some of you have may be very good and your yoga too is very good, together with that, very good behavior is also required. The behavior of those who don't have the evil spirits of lust, anger, greed, ego, or attachment would be divine. Those are very big evil spirits. You children should not have any evil spirits in you. We are exorcists who remove evil spirits. Impure souls that wander around are called ghosts. The exorcists who remove these ghosts are very clever. No one apart from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, can remove evil spirits of the five vices. Only the One removes evil spirits from everyone. There is just the One who grants salvation to all. The one who liberates you from Ravan is only the One. Those are big evil spirits. It is said, this one has an evil spirit of lust. Let this one have, Baba says, the one who liberates you from Ravan is only the One. Those are big evil spirits. It is said, this one has an evil spirit of lust. This one has an evil spirit of attachment or pure or impure arrogance. The liberator, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul is the only one who can liberate everyone from those evil spirits. You know that at this time the Christians are the most powerful. The words of their English language are also very good. Whoever the king is, he uses his own language. No one knows the language of the deities. So what did Baba tell us about the liberator? He says the liberator, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the only one who can liberate everyone from those evil spirits. Next, Baba says, you know at this time the Christians are the most powerful. The words of their language, their English language, are also very good. Whoever the king is, he uses his own language. No one knows the language of the deities. My daughters would go and come back and tell us everything which they saw in trance. They used to stay in trance for 2 to 4 days. There should be a very clever trance messenger who would be able to speak the language that she sees there. You children should tell everyone the story of Bharat. Baba says Bharat was Sato Pradhan, but it has now become Tamo Pradhan. Worshippers from worthy of worship. In Bharat, there are many images of the deities. People worship them with blind faith because they don't know their biographies. We are all actors and we should also know the director, etc. of the drama. What is Baba saying? We are all actors and so we should know the director, etc. of the drama. This is why the questionnaire has been prepared. You should also write to the Pope. You are telling your followers to stop manufacturing those things for destruction. So why don't they all listen to you? You are everyone's guru and you are praised a great deal. So why don't all of them listen to you? Baba is telling us to tell the Pope, you are everyone's guru and you are praised a great deal. So why don't they all listen to you? You don't know the reason for this. And so we will tell you why they do not follow your directions. They are manufacturing everything according to God's directions. Heaven is being established through Adam and Eve. God is knowledgeful and He is incognito. Surely His army would be following His directions. You should explain in this way. However, you children don't have such broad and unlimited intellects. Therefore, the screw has to be tightened. Baba says, however, you children don't have such broad and unlimited intellects. Therefore, the screw has to be tightened. When an engine cools down, they put in more coal to heat it up. These are coals of knowledge. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the greatest of all, and everyone will come to salute him. Everyone considers the Pope to be powerful. People don't give as much regard to anyone else as they do to the Pope. They don't know the Father. He is incognito. Only you children know him and give him that importance. However, Maya is such that she doesn't even allow his children to have regard for such a father. As soon as you go outside, the intoxication you have of Baba making you into the masters of the world, ends. Why would we not claim our inheritance of becoming double crowned? This is the intoxication of worthy and obedient children. However, there are many children who have evil spirits of lust, anger, and greed. What is Baba telling us? Baba says that we as children don't know the Father, He is incognito. Rest of the children don't know Him. Only we, you children, know Him and give Him that importance. However, Maya is such that she doesn't allow even His children to have regard for such a Father. So Baba says, as soon as we go outside, we forget the intoxication of Baba making us into the masters of the world. So Baba says there are many children who have evil spirits of lust, anger and greed. Baba speaks a Murli and you then feel, I still have a slight influence of lust inside me. If one side is strong, then nothing can happen. Sometimes the wife is strong and sometimes the husband is strong. Baba receives all types of news. Some write with an honest heart. There has to be great honesty and cleanliness internally and externally. Let's hear this again. Baba says there has to be great honesty internally and externally. Great honesty and cleanliness. Some are honest externally but are false within. Many experience storms. They write, Baba, today I experienced the storm of lust, but I was saved. If they don't write, then firstly punishment is experienced and secondly that habit increases. Eventually they fall. Baba has these hopes in the children. Even when there are a few bad omens, they can be removed. So what hope is Baba having in us children? Even when there are a few bad omens, they can be removed. There are many children who are moving along fine today, but they would become unconscious tomorrow or their throats would choke. Definitely, they are disobedient about something. You should remain honest in every situation, for only then will you become the masters of the land of truth. Baba says, if you tell lies, the illness will increase and cause harm. You children should write the questionnaire very tactfully. What is your relationship with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul? Since He is the Father, there is no question of omnipresence. He is the bestower of salvation for all, the purifier and the God of the Gita. Therefore, He would surely have come at some time and given knowledge. If this is right, then do you know His biography? If you don't know it, you cannot receive the inheritance. You would definitely receive the inheritance from the Father. Then ask the second question. Baba says, do you know Prajapita Brahma and his mouth-born creation? We should ask this second question. First question was, what is your relationship with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul? And if they answer correctly, you should then ask, do you know his biography? If you don't know it, you cannot receive the inheritance. Then ask the second question, says Baba, do you know Prajapita Brahma and his mouth-born creation? The one who is called Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge. She is called the goddess of knowledge. This one is Jagadamba. So surely there would be her children and also her father. He is the one who gives knowledge. So who are this Prajapita and Jagadamba? She is also called the goddess of wealth. At this time, she is not the goddess of knowledge. This Brahma and Saraswati then become the king and queen. Therefore, their children must surely also become the masters of heaven. This is now the confluence, the Kumbh. Look at what happens at the Kumbh Mela. There is a difference of night and day between its meaning on the path of devotion and its meaning here. This is a confluence of the waters of the river and the ocean. This is the Mela of the human Ganges who emerge from the ocean of knowledge. This question can also be asked. Who is the one who makes you pure from impure? This is something to know, and this is why we are asking you. You can become kings and queens by receiving knowledge from this mother and father. Would your mouth be sweetened by saying that God is omnipresent? You are now receiving knowledge, the fruit of devotion. God is now teaching you, and so you have stopped stumbling around. Baba says, children, may you be bodiless. Souls have received knowledge. Souls now say, we now have to return home to Baba. Then there is the reward. The kingdom is being established. These matters have to be understood. This questionnaire is very good. It should remain in everyone's pocket. Only serviceable children would think about these things. Baba has to make so much effort for you children. Baba says, children, make your future elevated. Otherwise, your status will be reduced for cycle after cycle. Just as this Baba and Mama become the emperor and empress, so you children should also become the same. However, you have to have faith in yourselves. Baba says a king has a lot of power. There is nothing but happiness. Others who become kings become that by making donations and performing charity in the name of God. All the subjects live under the orders of the king. At this time, the people of Bharat have no kings. It is the rule of the people over the people, and so they have become very weak. Baba knows that many children experience storms, but they don't give this news to Baba. You should write to Baba, I experience such storms, so please give me some advice. Baba would advise you according to your situation. You don't write and your companion doesn't write either, and say, Baba, this is the condition of my companion. The news should be given to Baba. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and we the spiritual children also say Namaste to our spiritual father. Today we also have a night class which was held on 11th of January 1969. The essence of this night class is, Baba says the unlimited Father comes and explains to you. He makes you belong to Him. He gives you teachings for a royal status and also makes you pure. The Father gives you the introduction of Himself and the inheritance in a very easy way. You would not be able to understand it by yourself. You would surely receive the unlimited inheritance from the unlimited Father. Only those with very good intellects would understand what inheritance the Father gives. Baba says He gives you the inheritance of the home, the study, and the sovereignty of heaven. Those who become the pure deity community are the ones who enter the kingdom. Those who study and teach others will accordingly claim a high status. There are so many children and they are claiming their inheritance from the Father. The Father makes you into the masters of heaven, into Narayan from an ordinary human. This one is the master of the kingdom. So, the unlimited Father is the creator of heaven, and we, His children, will claim the sovereignty of heaven from Him. As are the king and queen, so are the subjects. You will claim a high status to the extent that you will make effort. This is the effort for the kingdom. Baba says not everyone will claim a high status. Baba says not everyone receives a kingdom in the golden age. To the extent that you make effort, accordingly you will receive a high status. Your reward depends on the efforts you make. You children know that you will receive your sovereignty according to how much effort you make. If you consider yourself to be a soul and remember the Father, you will become Satopradhan from Tamopradhan and become pure gold. You will also receive a kingdom. Here, people say that they are the masters of Bharat. All of you will become the masters, but what status will you then claim? What will your status in heaven be after you study? You are now studying at the confluence age. You will then rule in the golden age. The Father teaches you yoga and also teaches you this study. You understand that we are studying Raj Yoga. We also become pure by having remembrance of the Father. Then our rebirth will not be in the kingdom of Ravan, but in the kingdom of Rama. Baba says we are now studying Manmanabhav Madhyaji Bhav. It is now the end of the Iron Age, and then the Golden Age, heaven, will definitely come. The Father only comes at the Confluence Age and opens this unlimited school where there is this unlimited study to claim the unlimited sovereignty. Let's hear that sentence once again. Baba says the Father only comes at the Confluence Age and opens this unlimited school where there is this unlimited study to claim the unlimited sovereignty. You know that you will become the masters of the new world. The new world is called heaven. You feel intoxicated about this, do you not? Truly, after the old world, there is the new world. Children, remember this. It is in the hearts of all you children that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching us in order to make us into the masters of heaven. You children should remember that God is teaching you. What should we remember? You children should remember that God is teaching you. We are becoming the highest on high kings and queens of heaven. We receive the kingdom by studying Raj Yoga, and there is purity, peace and happiness in that. There is everything. Shiv Baba has now entered this Baba. Baba says Shiv Baba has now entered this Baba, meaning Brahma Baba. He is the highest on high. The soul carries that experience with himself. When he goes there, the way of sitting there will be royal. All the students will have individual seats. A student wouldn't sit in another student's place. No two souls can have the same part. What is Baba telling? A student wouldn't sit in another student's place. No two souls can have the same part. The Father has explained. Souls have a record recorded in them. Our efforts are continuing according to the drama plan. Some will become kings and others will become queens. At the end, the results of effort will be announced so that the rosary will be created. Those who are to claim a high number will definitely know that. When someone dies, you can understand that the soul will go and take another body according to his karma. Those who have performed good actions will receive a good birth with the power of yoga. If someone doesn't make effort, that one receives a low status. Happiness will be experienced by thinking in this way. As are the Maharathis, so their praise. Not everyone's way of speaking knowledge is the same. Each one's way of speaking knowledge is also different. This play is predestined. You children now pay attention to how you act. Whatever the father or mother does, children learn from that. You are now performing elevated actions. One can understand this from the service you do. The efforts that the Maharathis make cannot remain hidden. You can understand who is making effort to claim a high status. Baba says all the children have a chance. In order to claim a high status, you have also received the lesson of Manmanabhav together with its meaning. You children understand that the knowledgeful Father himself comes and gives you the knowledge of the Gita, and so he would surely give you accurate knowledge. Then, however much you continue to put the things you hear into a practical form depends on how much you imbibe them. What is Baba saying? However much you continue to put the things you hear into a practical form depends on how much you imbibe them. It is not difficult. You have to remember the Father and know the cycle. Baba says this study is of your final birth. You will pass and then go to the new world of the Golden Age. It is remembered there is victory in faith. So, you children have understood with your loving intellects that God is teaching you. You children know that you are souls and that you are imbibing this. The soul is studying through this body. He is doing a job. These matters have to be understood. You remember the Father and then Maya, Ravan, breaks your intellect's yoke. You have to remain cautious of Maya. The progress you make, Baba says, the more progress you make, the more your influence will spread and the more the mercury of your happiness will rise. When you take a new birth, you will show this very clearly. Acha. To the sweetest spiritual children, love, remembrance and good night from the spiritual Bap Dada. And we the spiritual children also say namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for dharana has 2 points. First point, remain honest and clean internally and externally. Give the Father your news with an honest heart. Do not hide anything. Second point, you now have to return home. Therefore, practice remaining bodiless. Remain in silence. Today's blessing, may you transform mine into yours, be double light and experience the flying stage. Blessing once again, may you transform mine into yours, be double light and experience the flying stage. Baba explains that perishable body, wealth and old mind are not yours. You have given them to the Father. The first thought you had was, everything is yours. The Father does not benefit by this, but you benefit. Because when you say mine, you become trapped. Whereas when you say yours, you become detached. By saying mine, you have a burden. But by saying yours, you become double light and a trustee. Until someone becomes light, he cannot reach the highest stage. Only those who remain light can experience bliss through their flying stage. There is pleasure in remaining light. Finally, the slogan for today, a powerful soul is one who cannot be influenced by any person or matter. Slogan once again, a powerful soul is one who cannot be influenced by any person or matter. Acha, Om Shanti.